Dover Road heading eastbound.
In here you're just a number. In here you're not a name, you're nobody. You might be the biggest gangster, you might be the biggest bloke or whoever you think you are. In here you're just a number. You're nobody in here. When you're in here, yeah, you do miss out on a lot of things. You miss out on birthdays, you miss out on your family's birthdays. You know, if a family member gets married or a family member gets buried, you miss out on all that. You miss out on the good stuff, you miss out on the bad stuff. But when you're in here, it's like you're in a wheelchair, you're crippled, you can't move. When I joined the motorcycle club, my mum didn't like it. My mum was crying for days. But she finally got over it, and my mum ended up loving them because she's seen the real side of them, how much respect they got. Now a lot of bike clubs have got respect. Some probably have, some probably haven't. It depends how they've been brought up. Same as a family, because it's a family that you've been brought up in. It affects my mum in a bad way. I mean, every time she comes and visits me, she's crying. Now your family's the only one that suffers at the end of the day.
Other stories where he would actually get everybody kicked out of school because of his troublesome at school. So the whole family had to move schools because of Mr. Hero here. He used to always start a fight or, you know, be always in fights at school, that the whole family used to have to move to schools. So how many schools were there at the time in Bathurst? Probably, I don't know, 6, 7 maybe, I don't know.
They're the ones that make sure that if you're eating, you know, is it cold in there? Are you getting enough food in there? My cellie actually drew me something up because he was that bored, and on a bit of canvas, but it looks like a jigsaw puzzle. I don't even know what it really means. At the end of the day, when I get out of here, I want to be a role model for the kids, to show them not to be in here, and if I do follow my dreams, to get out there and do it, and to be a role model. In other words, to tell the kids to do what they're good at, not to be in here. I'm hoping to go by my dream and build my bikes and become the best.
You took our loved ones away. Why did you take them away, my Lord?
When did you meet Snakecharmer?
Been a few years back now. Just I met him through a few of the bike shows that he used to do, and at the end of the day, through my involvement with magazines like Live to Ride and Chopper, I just do a lot of judging and that. So yeah, I met him through just the bikes that he'd been building.
This bike.
Back in about 1986, but we didn't know him as Snakecharmer then, we just knew him as Plain George. Then started as an apprentice. He was actually my apprentice work, and yeah, then just become friends from there.
Well, in the end, I mean, he's building some really good bikes. I see a lot of the bikes around Australia, from Scotty's Choppers to Gosford to the one in, what is it, the chopper shop in Gosford and that. At the end of the day, he's just turning a few heads and he's building some really, really wild bikes.
It's not just built for money, this is built for a purpose.
Yeah, it's built for you.
And it shows what the country's about, what the people are about.
So it's 10 times better than American Chopper. I like this bike right here, bro. Snakecharmer's eh?
It's the best display, and the winner of best display is Snakecharmer. Snakecharmer's sensational indigenous looking bike. First time I've ever seen that in the character. George Farah, congratulations George, good work there mate. Big round of applause for George.
My name's Dave Newton, I'm from country Radbury Land. That's the most magic thing I've seen, bro. I'm telling you, I've never seen nothing come close to that.
The first bike I built was called the Blade. It was called the Blade by Live to Ride magazine. I built it to represent my life and struggle in prison. We built it and painted it green. Everyone used to hate green bikes. Everyone used to say, you know, green's bad luck, this and that, but I don't care at the end of the day. Look at that, 90% of the guys that have built their bikes now are green. I've built another one called the Wet and Wild bike. We built it in the candy apple to represent the happiness and the rosy of life. And the tears of my mother, which I said I put on the bike. So not just like my mum, but everyone's tears that suffered in the family, which is done in teardrops. It's done like in water drops, which Airbrush World painted it. He's one of my designers. The Indigenous bike, yeah, which Indigenous bike represents all cultures and all race. That represents the actual journey and my whole life, and everyone that's in it. Which the emu egg represents all cultures, all colours of light. The boomerang I built to represent the journey, the path that I represented, which Richard Campbell was one of the good artists, Aboriginal artists that we met. The spears represents as being a warrior, from being a kid, and from being in prison. The shield represents as being a warrior, same thing. The little girl's hand on the back guard represents the journey of the next generation and the next future, which I hope they do go by their dreams. I've got, what else? The didgeridoo plays the tunes of the exhaust. Oh, and the key that starts it, which it says from prison dreams to reality, that's the key to joy, a key to freedom, and keys not to go back to prison and to jump on that bike and ride it freely. Well, the Indigenous bike represents all cultures and all race that I dealt with, and this is what I want to show everyone, not to be racial, to work with everyone. Doesn't matter what colour or what race you are. You could be Christian, Muslim, you know, whatever, Puerto Rican, Mexican, whatever colour you want to say. That's why the headlight represents that, because we want everyone to work together and give everyone a go. Because no one gave me a go, so I want to prove to the world that I worked with everyone and every race. And look what we've done. We created something that's special. I mean, that bike is a special bike. Maybe someone might look at it and say, oh, you know, it's Aboriginal art. We've done it in Aboriginal art because Aboriginal art tells a story. I actually can't write the story on the bike. So we've done it in Aboriginal art to represent Australians and Australia itself.
It's about today and the future rather than the present or the previous. That's all people seem to remember people from it. That's what he's judged by, unfortunately. That's why he can't seem to get any state or federal funding for a project that could actually change a lot of people's lives. Not just black lives, but ethnic lives and gullers, which are whitefellas. That's a blackfellas terminology for a whitefellas, a guller, and other different nationalities. Get out there and actually, especially in the West, and do some programs. So, yeah, definitely a good role model. That's what I saw being the major factor out of it. So the finished product was a great product, don't get me wrong, but when you came in talking to me, I thought it is a good opportunity to actually showcase what youth and people can do, and even people that have been on the wrong side of the tracks, an opportunity to all come together and work as one.
Snakecharmer started in on a front cover magazine, a freestyle, which John and Ross, they're the guys that I met at Auto Salon once. Freestyle magazine, because I wanted to do a crazy shoot with the snakes and bikes in it, and I don't know, they just decided to call me the Snakecharmer because just the shoot on its own just looked charming, I suppose, and with the snakes in it, and I just want to do something different, and no one's ever done shoots with bikes, like snakes and bikes. And the top hat that I always used to wear from when I was a kid, it's been always my favourite hat. I took Lindsay, I took him off the street. Now he's got a job. He worked with me for a while to keep him off the streets, to keep him out of trouble. He helped me build this Indigenous bike. I was showing him, you know, how to put things together.
we did everything from in the shed steel welding. He showed me how to weld, cut steel, bend, a lot of other things.
And I've helped a lot of others, but he was really the main one. So at the end of the day, yes, I do think I am a role model for kids. Because then if I've done it now to one, and I've gone to schools, and I've signed posters to kids, and at the end of the day I'm giving back more to society in raising breast cancer, going to schools out of my own expenses, my own money, okay? So anything we can help for the actual community, so, you know, they should never underestimate anyone that comes out of prison or judge its book by its cover at the end of the day, because you know what, I did do bad, but you know what, they've given me a second chance, but the society didn't give me a second chance. But you know what, I want to prove to society, look what I've done, what have you all done. I think everyone deserves a second chance, and I have taken everybody in. I like to take, doesn't matter what race it is, but singers, like I've got 2 singers now that sing about my life, they're my conscience and my soul, about everything that they sing about. There was a girl, she contacted me on Facebook and said to us, you know what, George, I'm showing a little kid, you've got a fan. This little kid's only 4 years old, and he's calling him, he's yelling out Snakecharmer. He's going, look, 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 Snakecharmer. And I said, are you serious? I thought she was having me on. So she literally goes to me, can you send me posters of the Indigenous bike? So I sent the posters to the Indigenous bike to the school, and then she sent me photos back, and I've got these little kids actually putting this bike together, like literally putting it together out of blocks, getting 2 tires from the playground, put it together. They started sticky taping rods, milk cartons, and the bike actually looks like a bike, which the teacher would have helped him. But then they had one guy in charge, I can't remember his name. He was the main man. He had it put up on the wall, and he started pointing and designing the bike. So if I can dead set give the inspiration to kids to build at that age, I think I am a role model, like I said again, for the kids. Mate, I'm gonna, at the end of the day, I can't even say anything. I can't say any more. It's a good feeling to see little kids that you're a role model to them to build their dream. It's like they've looked at it and just built it.
I think he values family more now, and values the importance of nieces, nephews, and family. Yeah. He's never changed as a person, like as in soft-hearted, but he's always like, I think he's learnt on who he can build friendships with.
When I took this canvas out, as I brought home, when I brought it home, I just stuck it in my cupboard. I actually I got it out and I just realised that I wanted to be in front cover magazines like Live to Ride. The S, the snake represents, which is Snakecharmer now. No one ever thought that I'd be a Snakecharmer. Freedom, it talks about freedom down here. Freedom. So this guy actually ripped my future. He actually ripped my future out before I even knew about it. And now, as you see here, everything that's on this piece of canvas has actually happened to me in my life since I got out. It's like he's written out my future. If someone comes up to you and wants a second chance in life, give it to them.
What he's creating is like a lasting legacy of his time.
Snakecharmer's #1.
Snakecharmer's heading to the top, so come and join the Snakecharmer family and be prepared to be bitten by the Snakecharmer.
Guys on the road, man.